Hello and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be doing the daily reading for Saturday, December 19th, 2020. And today is a day that's ruled by the heart chakra and guided by space. And because it is a heart chakra day, we can do the rainbow meditation to really connect in with that heart energy. So that's bringing the rainbow light down through the crown, down through the chakra system, radiating it out through the different fields of the aura. We have 7 different layers to our auras, and really radiating that rainbow energy out into the world and feeling that connectedness with all of the earth, with all of humanity, with all of the cosmos and beyond. Excuse me. So that's a really great way to tap into the energies of today. The galactic signature of the day is the red overtone serpent energy. And so the red serpent energy is very much about the body, the primal life force energy. It's about survival, life force, and instinct. And it's really about bringing ourselves into our bodies, really centering into our bodies and appreciating our bodies as the vehicles of our spirit today. And so whatever ways you can get in touch with your body, through movement, through yoga, through dance, just allow that to flow and allow the movement to really bring you into your body. With the overtone today, we're also being asked to move into our center point, to really find that center point of stillness within us and to radiate the truth of our being out from that center point. There's a quote here with the overtone that I really want to read because it's really beautiful, and it says, "Center the mind in stillness, center the heart in love, center the body in breath, and you will find yourself centered in the cosmos." And so really working with that energy today, really working with this energy of empowerment and radiating our divine truth, our divine essence into the world. We want to command our energy. Being in command of our energy means operating from that still center point, knowing who we are, knowing the light that we add to the world, and being confident in our ability to radiate that out. And to really portray that in the way that we move, in the way that we move through our lives today, in the way that we are centered in our center point, and also centered in our being, centered in our bodies, and just really seeing what it feels like to be in our bodies today. A lot of times we can get disconnected if we spend too much time out here and we don't spend enough time in here, rooted and anchored into this physical body as well. And so we really want to practice that today. We want to honor that life force energy. We want to honor that kundalini energy and all the different ways that we express that energy sexually, creatively. Like, how do you tap into that life force energy, and how do you radiate that out into the world? How do you express that? It's a very expressive day today, and it's a day of really honoring and understanding our primal instinctual nature and how that benefits us and how we can blend that nature with our higher spiritual nature. We understand that our bodies are vehicles of expression for our spiritual nature, for our spiritual experience on this planet. And so we unify, we bring these energies in. We bring in those higher dimensional energies, but we match them with our own primal life force, kundalini energies. And you can imagine like pulling that energy up through the root and down from the heavens, and the way that they blend together and circle together and unify and combined in the heart center, and then radiating that energy outward. So this is really powerful, dynamic energy that we're working with today. And the affirmation for today is, I empower in order to survive, commanding instinct. I seal the store of life force with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of space. So really tapping into, rooting into our bodies today, enjoying our bodies and all of the things that we are able to experience. Like, we cannot experience our reality the same way in the non-physical realms that we can in this physical realm. And a lot of times we get frustrated with some of that process and some of the physical things and the care that's necessary. And I'm speaking a lot for myself right now, I guess, of the physical vessel. But today is really about honoring that physical vessel and knowing that, like, being able to touch like this, being able to have this body and all of the sensations, all of the experiences of the physical body. Like, we came here to experience this. We can't experience this other places. And so really honoring that and delving into that and what that means for you. The astrology today is pretty interesting. We have the lineup setting up for the 21st. This is a lineup that really has been set up for the most part ever since the eclipse. And so these energies, you can see how they carry through. They're staying very stable right now, really hammering the points home of what it is that we're wanting to learn, what it is that we're wanting to release, what it is that we're ready to step into as we enter this 1221 portal. And today I feel the portal sort of beginning to coalesce, and I feel it as being fully open tomorrow. So the 20th through the 22nd, this gateway really being fully open. And we can see today we actually have Saturn and Jupiter are already conjunct. Their exact moment of conjunction will be on the 21st, but they're both at 0 degrees of Aquarius today. So they're within those realms. They're bringing in that energy. We have that Aquarian energy coming in, that breath of fresh air. We can probably feel it. And so that's really exciting. We have a lot of planets in conjunction today. I'm noticing when I was looking at the chart this morning that have very similar energies or carry similar vibrations. And so we have the Sun and Mercury conjunct right now. And so the Sun is our consciousness and Mercury is our mind. So it's really interesting that we have those two still conjunct in the final degrees of Sagittarius right now. We also have Uranus conjunct both True Black Moon and Black Moon Lilith. So both of the different calculations of Black Moon Lilith are conjunct Uranus right now. And so that's a very similar energy in that rebellious part of the energy, right? Black Moon Lilith is very rebellious. Uranus is all about rebellion, but it's all about us learning how to channel that in a productive manner, how to be rebellious with a cause, how to be free, but to understand that our freedom is all, and our liberation goes hand in hand with the freedom and liberation of the whole, of the collective. Because Uranus definitely looks from that whole perspective. And from that higher perspective, it's that evolution energy. So we're really being asked to evolve in any of the areas, especially where we're feeling repressed or suppressed. Especially where the feminine aspect of our nature, the darker shadow aspects of the feminine are concerned. So really bringing that energy into the light, healing that energy, revolutionizing that energy, and seeing how we can channel that in a productive manner. And this energy is carried on further by the fact that we still have Mars and Eris conjunct as well in the sign of Aries. And so the masculine and the feminine warrior aspects of the self conjunct, really understanding how those two can play upon each other and work with each other. But these are both warrior planets. So it's not like the gentle, soft feminine meeting the masculine, right? The primal masculine. This is like the primal feminine meeting the primal masculine and blending into a unified primal energy. So that works really well with this life force energy, this Kundalini energy that we are being invited to work with and to appreciate and come to a deeper understanding of today. And so that's really cool energy. I'm really feeling all of that. Today is a day where we're really going to be able to, we're being invited to see from that higher perspective. We have the moon in Pisces today, so it's a very it's a very watery, emotional energy, but also a highly intuitive and spiritually charged energy. And the moon is making sextiles to both Uranus and Mercury with a square to Venus. And so, and as it's making a sextile to Mercury, of course, it's also making a sextile to the sun because they are in conjunction. And as it's making a sextile to Uranus, it's also to Black Moon Lilith because those planets are in conjunction. So it's really interesting how all these energies are being tied together and being really synergized through our emotional nature, through our emotional lens today, and that higher spiritual lens because of the moon being in the sign of Pisces. And we also have that higher energy of Uranus coming through Saturn and Jupiter moving into the sign of Aquarius. And so this is very much, I talked about this in the 1221 video. It's the Saturn and Jupiter and Aquarius is very much the merging and healing of polarity, duality, and moving into oneness. And so we're really feeling that oneness energy today. And we're asked to really bring it back to ourselves and how we are one within ourselves. When we have this square to Venus, and we have Venus sextiling, trining Chiron and sextiling Saturn and Jupiter, right? We have a lot of this Venusian energy, and Venus is, of course, conjunct Juno, which once again are very similar energies. Juno is the planet of marriage and partnership, and Venus carries those energies within her as well. So that really being highlighted. But with all of these energies today, we are getting that higher perspective, that fresh spiritual perspective on situations, but we're also really being asked to look at ourselves today. We're being asked to look, even with this Venus-Juno conjunction, right? The way I'm feeling it today is like, Instead of looking at the other, it's looking at the self. How have I grown? What do I have to offer? Am I able to be truly intimate with myself so that I can be intimate with another? All these qualities that I want in a partner, do I have those within myself? It's all about bringing it back to the self. As we move through into this 1221 portal, it's really about the self. We're being asked to not look at other people, what other people are doing, what other people are feeling, right? What other people are bringing to the table, and look at ourselves. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I bringing to the table, right? Am I the change that I want to see in the world? Am I the kind of partner that I would like to have? Am I making the impact in the world that I would like to see happen in the world? And if not, what's going on with me? What's being shown by the outside to me about me? And what can I do about that? How can I look at that? How can I bring healing to any aspects of that need healing? Empowerment to any aspects that need empowerment. It's very much about all of that energy and bringing it back to the self. So there's a lot of emotional energy. There's a lot of like synthesizing everything that we've learned from the outer planets, right? About ourselves, from Mars and Eris and Chiron and Aries, about our empowerment, right? All of these different things. How can we synergize all of those within our emotional selves? And really then, like we said, from that center point, radiate that out into the world. Really command our energy, command our life force today, and radiate that out into the world. We're at a huge manifestation gateway as well right now. All of December has been. We're really moving into it now. And so that focus on our intentions is really coming through strong today. We really want to be focused on that. What do I want to create? Who do I want to be? Am I the person who would live the life that I am wanting to create? And if not, how can I change and alter that, right, in a positive way? How can I heal that? What can I do to move into alignment with what it is that I am desiring and wanting to create? We're going to pull some Beyond Lemuria cards this morning. Clear. And just see what these cards have to say about the energies of today, December 19th, 2020. Right? We're tapping into that primal life force energy today. So it's like we have the power and the ability, the drive, the motivation to be able to step into whatever roles it is that we are wanting to step into in our lives today. But we have to be cognizant of what we're being shown. We don't want to pretend to be any type of way. Today's the day that really shows us the truth. And then this came up in the reading the other day. Once we know the truth, we can work with it. Right? Once that's revealed to us, we can work with that. We know where alterations need to happen, and we can make those happen if we have the courage and the drive to do so, if we are willing and able. All right. Yes, perfect. And the first card out is Internal Explorer. Be the explorer of your internal world. This is that energy we were talking about of let's not look on the outside, let's look on the inside. Let's really pay attention to what's going on the inside today. Allow ourselves to tap into that. That is being shown to us, and that can teach us and show us where it is that we want to go from here. Be curious about yourselves today, about learning about ourselves and all the things that the self has to teach us, all the things that our heart, our emotions have to teach us, our higher self, our intuition has to teach us. And then the solar plexus card coming out. So once again, that empowerment energy that we were talking about coming through, that will energy. How do I exert my will in the world in a positive and beneficial way, both for myself and for those around me? And this is radiant illumination is what it says on the bottom. So I love that. There's incredible. Through this internal exploration, things are being illuminated. And I love this. It says radiant, right? Because that's the energy that's with the overtone of the day, right? The day. I get so excited sometimes I stutter. With that overtone, it's all about radiating. Once we have that illumination, that internal illumination, we radiate that out into the world. And we really can make an impact from that point. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. Okay, there we go. And now we have the full spectrum energy coming out. This is really cool. And I haven't, I don't think we've ever read this one. So I think I'm going to read this one from the book and see what it says for you guys. But this is embracing the full spectrum of our energy is one thing that I'm feeling from this card, right? And it's funny because we talked about the rainbow meditations and you can see all of the chakras being lit up and illuminated in this card. So it's really the full coming together and unifying, like we were talking about, of our entire essence today, the full spectrum of our energy, really commanding and stepping into that full spectrum of our energy today. And that's what this 1221 portal is really going to help us do, is come into the full spectrum of our energy more and see how we can then utilize that energy to make a conscious changes in our reality. And so this says, what does heaven on earth look like to you? Do you imagine lush green nature, ancient forests, pristine beaches, crystalline water systems, and all the planet's residents in full health, living in harmony with each other? And yet nature in its purest, rawest form is a balance of life and death, growth and decomposition, the eaters and the eaten. In one way or another, this is the natural flux of life. We already live in Eden, but our efforts to own and segregate bring us further away from this paradigm. Power trips, the need for imagined security, fear or avoidance of the shadow keep us out of our freedom. The need to preserve and hold on tightly only stunts our growth and leaves us drowning in a sea of plastic. The real disease on earth, the barrier to Eden, is in our minds. Life happens, but it is our perception of good and bad and our black and white judgments that prevent us from seeing the grander truth. So this is that healing of duality we're talking about, that oneness perspective. When duality becomes one, we will find Shambhala before us. Perhaps we can find inspiration from nature and the animal kingdom, and that's wicked funny because on the bottom of the deck we have furred and feathered friends. Does the tiny frog spend its days anxious over its vulnerable future? What happens when we realize fertile compost greets us when we allow ourselves to transmute our pain? When we honor all that came before, our roots are nourished and we grow with more vitality, vibrancy, and life force. We can anchor more light for the collective and in turn seed new growth. What happens when we realize the keys to our future are in the wisdom of the earth and the dreamings of the indigenous? That the answers are in the geometry of the macro and the microcosm, the nurturing embrace of oneness in Mama Nature's arms. What happens when we find peace within the full spectrum of life? Even the notion of separation, this disease, can be symbolized as no more than a blackened leaf on a healthy tree. The ebb and flow of our evolution and devolution is a temporary blip in the universe. The message is to be what we can, to ground heaven on earth, but not out of fear. We often try to avoid or run from negative situations, but where fear steers our decisions and actions, far more devastation can result, right? So if we do not acknowledge our fears, they will overrun us. When we acknowledge them, we can illuminate them, we can bring them to the light, and then they no longer have power over us. Let's see. When we choose to let our hearts lead us away from stories and outdated patterns, our challenges become the fertile compost that feeds our ascending tendrils as they reach to the heavens and ground its light back on earth, like we were talking about connecting above and below. Step out of the black and white mentality of judgment. Go beyond the concepts of good and bad. This is all about moving past polarity. I love it. This card invites you to honor the full spectrum of life and find a new way of perceiving your situation, that higher vision, that higher insight we were talking about. When we judge something, we create a story around it. These stories often create limitation. Subconsciously, we gather so many of these stories over a lifetime. To heal our disease and crystallize the new way, we need to create a space of no story where miraculous healing can happen. This space empowers us to all be aware, to be all we are, and allows us to know our truth. Embrace the full spectrum of creation in all her colors, and the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation, to determine whether they are actually bad or if the stories you held on to are limiting your perspective. And so this is something that comes up a lot. This is about releasing the stories. A lot of time we get so attached to the stories, what happened to me, right? What I've been through. And we allow those stories to define us. We create stories and narratives about everything that happens in our lives, including about ourselves. And when we become too attached to these stories, we don't leave room for other possibilities, for other perspectives. We don't leave room for these stories, for our identities, for our situations and interactions to evolve. And we want to leave room for everything to evolve. If something is stuck, if it's not growing, if it's not changing, it is essentially dead, right? And so we don't want dead weight. It's like that blackened leaf on the tree, right? We want to pull that leaf off. We don't want to allow that to continue to affect the integrity of the tree. The tree in this analogy being the self. And so we really want to avoid being attached. And this is some energy that eclipse that we just had help to shake up, right? Our belief systems, our narratives, our storylines, releasing those so that new ones can be born. There's also an energy today of honoring our ancestors. Honoring our ancestors and really allowing them to guide us and to teach us, but to teach us not only where we can go back, get back in touch with our roots, but where we can uproot things that are ready to be healed, that are no longer necessary, because we're healing, we're learning from them, we're taking their wisdom, and then we're using that wisdom to heal our lineage now, right? And so really connecting to the earth, connecting with those, with animals, with our furred and feathered friends, and what it is that they can teach us. Today's a day where we may want to be cognizant of animal messages, spirit messages, and how those are coming through for us. And actually, I'm going to pull a couple animal spirit cards on that note. Clear. I was going to do the Keepers of the Light, but I'm feeling like I really want to pull a couple of these as well. So moving out of that polarity thinking, that black and white thinking, into that gray area, but not even the gray area, allowing that gray area to become multicolored, to shine with the full spectrum of energy and light, shining that full spectrum of light into every corner of our consciousness, into every corner of our reality, of our being. And also really just embracing all the changes and the transformations, embracing the illumination that is occurring for us today. All right, what do the animal spirits have to say? Whoa, okay. So we have the eagle spirit. Spirit has your back. This is also that higher perspective. The eagle to me always symbolizes that higher viewpoint because it soars far above everything and sees all the different angles, the full layout of the land, if you will. But this is also confirmation that spirit is protecting you, spirit is with you, spirit is supporting you. If you have been feeling unsupported, know that you're not. Sometimes spirit steps back a little bit so that we can come into this full empowerment, right? So that we can feel how it feels to call upon our own inner power and strength in a situation. That doesn't mean spirit's not there. Spirit always has your back. It just means sometimes its energy takes a little bit of a step back so that we can call upon our own energy and realize and understand that we are that energy. We have that within us, and we have everything within us to accomplish what it is that we need to accomplish, to learn, to grow, to change, to affect positive change in our lives. We have that power. And so sometimes spirit steps back a little bit to allow that, but it's always there. It's always there, and it will always catch us if we slip, right? But it will allow us to slip if we need to so that we can learn that lesson and learn the power and empowerment that comes from pulling ourselves back up. We also have horse spirit. Freedom is yours. Oh my God, this card is gorgeous. This is card number 33. I've never seen this one before. And this is the Animal Spirit deck by Colette Baron Reed, for anyone who's curious. These cards are absolutely phenomenal. Freedom is yours. You can be free. You can set yourself free, right? This is that also that Uranus energy conjunct Black Moon Lilith right here. But all of this, the empowerment, all of it, freedom is yours. Set yourself free. We talk about this all the time, the liberation of the mind. We are in a war for our minds right now. When you free your mind, when you free yourself, this is like freeing yourself from those stories, from those narratives, from that narrow identity and view of the world and view of yourself that does not serve you anymore. When you can free yourself from that, when you can free yourself from the conditioning, from the control, liberate yourselves. When you are truly liberated in the mind, you are truly free. All right? And spirit has your back. Spirit is supporting you in freeing yourself in whatever ways, from whatever situations, from whatever limiting beliefs and standpoints you are needing to liberate and free yourself right now. Spirit has your back. Whatever that journey looks like for you, spirit has your back. I just really want to repeat that so that comes in very strongly. And if you want assistance with this, please reach out to me. I offer a variety of different services that can help with that. The Belvaspata is incredibly helpful with that. The Theta healing. There are so many different things that we can do to really tap into this and help you command this energy and set yourself free. And then we also have the owl spirit. You see clearly now. The owl is wisdom, right? The owl has that 360-degree vision. Birds in general have that great vision, right? And so this is like seeing clearly, a lot of us, and this has been coming up, right? Seeing clearly where it is that we still feel bound, right? I'm thinking that 8 of Swords energy, right? Where do that devil energy, where do we feel bound? Where do we feel stuck? And seeing clearly what is keeping us stuck, and that we can free and liberate ourselves from that. And just knowing that we're being fully supported in that process. That's the energy coming through. Whatever it is that you are seeing clearly, whatever truth has been illuminated to you, you have the strength to free yourself from it. And Spirit is here helping you and rooting you on every step of the way. Once you see clearly, you then have options and choices. All right? Okay, that's a lot of cards there. That's a lot of cards. Oh, you know what? We'll play with them. We'll play with them, guys. So we have Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. Right. It's a co-creation. Spirit has your back. Utilize it. Utilize it. This is, we're never doing anything alone. We are working with Spirit every step of the way. We are Spirit, right? So how can we not be working with Spirit? So really bring Spirit into your decisions today. Ask for the highest and best solutions to situations. Ask for this or something better. Ask for ease and grace. Really building this relationship with Spirit so that you can have that, as we always talk about, divinely inspired action. You see clearly now you can set yourself free. You are being supported in doing that. And you are being supported in co-creating. Now that you see what needs to change, what you're ready to be liberated and freed from, create that change with the assistance of Spirit. Right? And this is also with the assistance of your ancestors. And for some of you passed on loved ones, Spirit, Crow Spirit can represent those energies as well. So just know that like there's a whole team waiting for you. And a lot of those are also for some of you guys today, your ancestors and loved ones. Set healthy boundaries, Armadillo Spirit, that energy coming through so strongly right now, just wanting to repeat itself. We don't have to, we talk about this a lot. We don't have to get super into this right now, but set those healthy boundaries, right? Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. This is that energy of freeing the mind, right? Utilizing that logic, utilizing that divinely inspired action. Moving forward. Having your mind be your servant and not your master. That's the energy of use your mind wisely. Use it to your advantage. Don't allow it to hinder you. Allow it to help you. And then Scarab Beetle Spirit. Ooh, magic works through you. You are a magical creature, right? We're tapping into our magic and we're allowing that magic to flow through us. When we have resistance, when we have judgment, the magic can't flow. When we are in a space of thinking in terms of lack, when we allow our minds to overrun us, we block the flow of that magic. So it's releasing that, asking Spirit for help if you need help, releasing this turmoil in the mind so that that magic can flow through you, and allow that magic to flow through you. Allow yourself to tap into your higher mind today. Really practice utilizing the higher mind. And then Squirrel Spirit, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You got this. You are absolutely capable of everything. Of everything and anything, especially when you take the Sandpiper Spirit energy of being playful. Be playful with it. Have fun with it. Co-creating is supposed to be a fun process, a joyful process. Yes, we are looking at shadow aspects right now. We are purging some things. We are doing some things that may not be fun. And that's why this playful energy is coming in to remind us to try to step back and have a little fun with things. At the same time, don't take things too seriously. When you find yourself getting too serious, do something to lighten the mood. And that helps the magic flow as well. All right. And then we will close with a Keepers of the Light card. Clear. Any final closing guidance from the Keepers of the Light? Any final closing guidance? What do the Keepers of the Light have to say? Oh, Sanat Kumara, light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. We are all receiving this activation right now as more and more light pours in, right? More and more illumination, right? Light is information. It's truth. As more and more light pours in, our internal guidance gets louder and louder and stronger. And we're being asked to shine that light. That's that radiate it from your heart center, from the center of your being. Radiate the truth of your being out into the world. They really want to sort of bring it back to that and make sure that we are working with that today and really gaining the confidence to do so. Believe in yourself, right? Squirrel spirit is telling you, believe in yourself. Radiate that out. Radiate that magic, right? Magic works through you. The scarab beetle, it works through you when you allow it to radiate out, when you allow it to flow through you, but also when you allow it to radiate outwards. So really, don't hold your magic in. Allow your magic to pour out of you and really create these beautiful ripples of change in the world around you. But yes, just confirmation of those light activations and the importance of sharing that light. Don't try to suppress it. We have so much light pouring in. We are embracing more and more of our light. We are meant to radiate that out. We're meant to anchor that in. We're meant to radiate that out. If we keep ourselves constricted and condensed when there's so much expansion going on, that's going to be painful. And so we have to release the fears around allowing our light to shine and really embrace it. And just the fears in general. The deeper you will receive a more profound and deeper activation if you allow it. That's coming through too. And this is something that I've learned in my own journey, is when I experience these energies, these activations, these energies come through me. Sometimes it's very overwhelming because they're extremely powerful. I mean, to the point where I feel as though I am leaving my physical body, like my physical body might as well be dissolving. And it can be kind of scary sometimes. I've had times where I tried to pull myself out of that because I couldn't handle it. But guess what? Spirit will let us do that, generally speaking, right? So we can receive what we're willing and ready to receive. So it's really building that faith and that trust in this process, in spirit, in creator, in your guides, right? So that when this energy, these activations start coming in, we are able to allow more. The more we're open to allow, the more we're going to receive. And so I've really had to practice trusting that and staying in the energy and knowing like this isn't going to kill me, right? Like there is no death anyway. Like this will do exactly what it's meant to do if I allow it, if I am receptive, if I just say yes, right? And so that allows a deeper and deeper activation to occur. We only get what we're ready to receive. Spirit will offer us what Spirit believes we are ready to receive, but we only get what we are willing to receive. And then we have Radha Soul Flame coming out. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. And so this is that energy of the self, healing the self first. Really understanding the truth of your own being, falling in love with yourself, rediscovering, healing those parts of yourself. That's that. And how that then brings in harmony and healing in our relationships. And so our relationships transform as we transform. Our relationships, more often than not, are a reflection and a barometer of our own energy. And so as we fall more in love with ourselves, the world falls more in love with us. Our relationships deepen. That intimacy, that connection that we are desiring, we find when we find that within ourselves. And so this is a real opportunity to fall in love with ourselves and to see how that translates then on the outside in our outer relationships. Those that are not meant for us will fall away. Those that are meant for us will deepen. And if they're not meant for us and they fall away, deeper relationships will be brought in. Souls who are more a match for that energy and that resonance will be brought in. Remember, whatever's in your life right now is a match for you. And so it's either going to evolve with you as you evolve, or it's going to fall away, and what's a new match for your new vibration will come in. So this is really about that energy of falling more deeply in love with ourselves first. Discovering, this is bringing us back to this internal explorer energy right here. As we discover those lost parts of ourselves, as we honor them, as we heal them, as we embrace them, as we shine our light, right? We experience this harmony and healing, but it starts first on the inside. And one last card. Is there one last card that wants to come out? Horus, Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. This is that gateway that we are entering into that I feel fully opening. I feel opening today and being fully open tomorrow through the 22nd. Right? And I mean, time is an illusion, so these are just approximations. It'll be open as long as it's open, but that's what I'm feeling right now. But this is confirmation of that, and this is also confirmation of what we were talking about. Your intentions, focusing on what you want. Your thoughts are so powerful and so magnetic, and they are drawing to you everything that they're drawing to you. Everything you're thinking about is what you're creating, is what you're drawing to you. We are anchoring in a timeline for ourselves for our future, as well as for the collective. This is all talked about in the 1221 video. And so we want to be aware of the power of our thoughts, and we want to, this is that energy of using the mind wisely, right? That pig spirit energy coming through again. Using the mind wisely, understanding the power of our minds right now, and using that in a beneficial nature. Think about what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that you're wanting to create, and really focus your energy that way. When you find yourself falling into loops, repetitive loops of thinking that are not beneficial, when you find yourself falling into those old narratives, those old storylines, pull yourself out of that. Say cancel, clear, delete. Ask spirit to help you refocus your energy. Imagine like a button that you can press that says reroute or refocus. That came through for someone the other day, so I'm going to share that because I liked that. And then go on a different trajectory, right? You have complete control and dominion over your thoughts. You run your thoughts. Do not let your thoughts run you. That is so incredibly important right now. So really pay attention to that. Pay attention, understand that those thoughts, even if people can't, and people can, our telepathy is increasing. So even if people can't hear the actual words that you're thinking, people are becoming more and more cognizant of the vibration of your thoughts toward them. So we want to be really careful of our thoughts toward other people, that those are gentle and compassionate and loving. Of our thoughts toward ourselves, really pay attention to all of that internal talk. Pay attention to what you were thinking, what are you feeling, and what are you saying. And understand that our thoughts have more and more weight. They are affecting the world around us more and more powerfully. So this is an opportunity to use that to our advantage today. All right. I think we're going to close with that for today. I love you all so very, very much. I appreciate you so very, very much. If you liked this video, like this video. It definitely helps the channel to continue to grow. Drop a comment. Let me know how today's energies are feeling for you, how this reading is resonating. I love hearing from you guys. It really brightens my day every single time I see a comment from you guys. Every time our energy connects. There are links down below to donate to my channel if you feel so motivated to do so. It is very much appreciated if you do. I also have my email down below with a description of the different services that I offer. Hopefully it's updated. I tried updating it the other day and it wasn't coming through in the post for the video. So hopefully that is updated at this point. But just reach out to me, shoot me an email. I love working with you guys one-on-one. It is so absolutely beautiful. It's my absolute favorite thing to do. You are all so special and so unique, and you have such a powerful light that you are here to add to the world. So let that light shine today and every day. I'll talk to you guys soon.